First question over on the right side, fourth row.
Coach, how are you?
How you doing?
You have an opportunity to be part of a very special fraternity of coaches here in Boston that have won titles. Talking about legends like Red Auerbach and Bill Russell and Tommy Heinz and Casey Jones. What would it mean for you personally? I know you always talk about, it's all about the players. But you're a young coach. What would it mean for you personally, Coach, to be a part of that?
That'll never happen if you don't run back on defense, rebound, execute, and get to your spacing. It's the most important thing.
Tim, here on your left, standing.
You'd said the other day that Kristaps was making progress. He obviously went through that workout before the game. Over the last couple of days, has he continued to make progress? Is there hope he might be able to do a little bit more today?
I haven't talked to him yet. We're going to talk about that before we start at like 2. And so I'm not sure kind of where he's at, but he's trying. He's doing everything he can to try to put himself in position to be out there. I know that for sure.
Simone here.
Simone Sandri, Gazzetta dello Sport. You talked in the past about your different side of your upbringing. Can you talk about your Italian side and how that shaped the person and the coach that you became?
Yeah, I mean, you're just made by all the experiences and the things that you have. So regardless of what I am, what I'm made from, first and foremost, my identity in Christ is the most important thing before any of all that. And then after that, it's about winning for the Boston Celtics and the process of winning, getting back on defense, playing hard, transition, rebounding, spacing, execution. Those things are the most important.
John, on the left, fifth row.
Coach, how much of what you guys do defensively, especially in regards to help, is strictly game plan based, and how much is it instincts and sort of trusting your defenders and them trusting maybe who's behind them?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Multiple layers to that. Obviously, there's game plan execution, but that can change once the game begins. One side of the ball is heavily dictated by the other. And so I think one of the things that we've freed our minds to this year is just making reads and having understanding, having spatial awareness about who's where, what's the spacing, what's the attack, and just being able to make plays on both ends of the floor there. So there's definitely, obviously a game plan component. You have to have a plan going into it, but at the end of the day, it's the individual pride, and then it's the instincts from the guys when they're out there.
Gary in the middle.
Watch from Boston Globe. What did you see from Game 4? It was such just a bizarre performance. The lack of not getting the 50-50 balls, them dominating the boards. It just seemed like you guys were a couple of steps slow, and it seemed like it was mental also. What did you take from that, and how can you kind of use that as motivation or a way to make adjustments in Game 5?
Yeah. I mean, every game, regardless of how it goes, there's always stuff that you can learn from, and there's always stuff that you just kind of like you don't learn from. So regardless, I think the most important thing is our process towards getting better has been the same whether we've won or lost, whether we've won big or lost big. We've always tried to find the 10 or 12 possessions we can get better at and find the things that we did pretty well and how can we do those more. So just kept a consistent process towards our post-game retrieval and then how we grow at that heading into the next game.
Back left.
Guilherme Giovannone from ESPN Brazil. I saw Dallas increase the speed of their game in Game 4. Do you think control the rhythm of the game is one of the keys of the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's when they're at their best, the team that dictates the pace dictates kind of the momentum and the opportunities. And so, yeah, I think that's definitely part of it is how can we dictate the pace of the game? How can we dictate the momentum of the game? And you can do that in different ways. Transition is obviously one of those, but there's other ways that you can do that as well.
Bobby on the left side towards the back.
Bobby Manning, CLNS Media. Joe, I know you said coming into the series, a lot of the adjustments here will be dictated by like the points per possession, points per play, things like that. Was there any area in particular that their offense is going to kind of force you to adjust going forward based on what happened last game?
I mean, it just depends. I think they played a well-balanced offensive game, from everybody. And, the game is connected. And so if you're not doing one thing well, going to something different may not always stop that. So just have to be open-minded. Every game takes on a life of its own, so we have the things that we can control, and then we have the things that we have to be ready to adjust to, kind of depending upon how, the game grows over the course of time.
Front right, Shane.
Hey, Joe, Shane Young with Forbes. Derek always seems very, even-keeled for you guys. Just kind of curious what you think his stability, his calmness has given you guys this playoff run.
Yeah, I mean, just a guy defined by the ability to make plays on both ends. So, like you said, Mistakes don't weigh him down. It doesn't matter if he misses a shot or makes a mistake on a defensive end. Just has the ability to make plays, and he can do them on both ends of the floor. So just that balance of impacting the game in different ways is crucial for us.
Anyone with a final question? Last one here on the left side.
Yeah, hi, Joe. Coach Joe, happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Joe, I'm sorry if this was already asked, but was just to go back for a moment, was offensive execution a problem in the previous game? I know how you talk about the game's interconnected.
Yeah.
And at this point in the series, is it a battle of wills as much as anything?
Yeah, definitely. I think, some of our defensive struggles came from our offensive struggles, no question, and vice versa. And so there's definitely some things we need to do better on the offensive end. What was the second question you had? It's a little bit of both. I think obviously that is, I would say 1A is that the willpower, the mindset, the approach that you bring into it. And I think there are some tactical things that, you have to do depending upon how the game is going for sure. Yeah.